war-ready, battle-tested Alliance Marine, member of Commander Shepard's crew, and one badass soldier. What's up, Internet? I'm KC, and welcome to the history of James Vega. Jamie made his first appearance in the Mass Effect Homeworld comics. James, or Jamie Vega, joined the System Alliance Marines stationed at Camp Pendleton near his home of San Diego. James' uncle Emilio Vega played a vital role in him joining the Alliance Marines in the first place. See, Jamie lived in a broken home with his drug-addicted father. At one point, his father put Jamie in a position to be kicked out of the Alliance. Jamie's father sent him on a mission to go pick up a package, but did not tell Jamie what was in the package. Not only did he send him to go pick up some illegal drugs, but after the transaction with the drug dealer, the police came at the tail end of that deal and started to pursue Jamie. It was quite a trip around the city just to avoid the cops, but due to Jamie's natural athletic ability, he was able to make somewhat of a clean getaway, although there was an image of him taken by a cop bot, which Jamie then tackled and destroyed. Jamie then got in contact with his uncle Emilio, and Emilio was concerned instantly due to how late it was in the night, but it was cut short because of the search for Jamie and the police were asking around about an image of him. Jamie then went back home to give his father the package, and when Jamie got home, he told his father off and that he was done with him and leaving for the Alliance. But Jamie's father wasn't trying to hear it and threatened to get him kicked out for what he had just done. Jamie walked out of the house and was greeted by his uncle Emilio. Jamie said to Emilio that it was over and that his father would make sure that. Emilio had told Jamie that he was aware of what happened and reassured Jamie that his future career with the Alliance was safe. At the beginning of Jamie's career, he was assigned to a human colony called Fel Prime to stop an invasion of the Blood Plaque mercenaries. He, along with Delta Squad and Alliance Special Force Unit, deployed, and Jamie was second in command. Jamie was a great leader and tried to mirror Commander Shepard as much as possible because that was his idol. Around this time, Commander Shepard's ship, the Normandy, had been destroyed and Shepard had not been found, but Jamie never gave up hope in finding Commander Shepard. Now, as the leader of Delta Squad, Jamie was successful in taking out the Blood Pack mercs, and he even captured one of the members, Broad, a Krogan merc, as a prisoner of war. After a successful battle on Fel Prime, Jamie meets up with Admirals Hackett and Anderson for a debriefing. They both thank Jamie for his efforts on the human colony and give him more news that Jamie was not too fond of. The Admirals tell him that Delta Squad and he are now assigned to Fel Prime as a security detail. 2 years pass by as Delta Squad have been on Fel Prime and the Alliance have been working on installing defense cannons to protect the colony. James had made himself a familiar face with the colony and built relationships as well with the people on the colony. At some point, James and Delta Squad were given an order from the Alliance to investigate a jamming signal on the colony outskirts. Oddly, Jamie had befriended a new face on the colony. His name was Messner, and Messner happened to have a Mako at his disposal, which Jamie and Delta Squad would use to go to the outskirts of where the jamming signal was. As they got to the area where the signal was coming from, it appeared that the device was planted there and it looked like it could have been Prothean technology, but it did not matter to Delta Squad and was destroyed on sight. Back at Fel Prime, an attack was launched by the collectors on the colony. They were not killing the people, but instead paralyzing them, collecting them and taking them back to their mothership. Jamie and his crew headed back to the colony in the midst of all the chaos that had been taking place while they were on the outskirts on orders to destroy the jamming signal. Jamie noticed there were still people left behind and that they were in some sort of stasis, but were still coherent. The collectors came back to take the rest of the colony aboard the ship, and as they were doing so, Delta Squad tried to intervene but was unsuccessful. So they decided to take some time and devise a plan on how they were going to destroy the ship and save the human colony. They gathered all their sources and even made a few unlikely friendships with the Krogan named Broad, whom they freed to help fight the collectors. Then at some point came up with the plan to use the cannon that was built by the Alliance but never had been calibrated or even shot. They got into position to use the cannon and did aim it at the mothership of the collectors. Once the cannon was in the direction of the ship of the collectors, they waited for a moment to let the cannon charge but had to fight off hordes of the collectors. The cannon did not reach 100% and the battle was getting long and drawn out by the collectors, so they decided to go ahead and fire the cannon anyway. The cannon did no damage whatsoever and also gave the position away of Jamie and his crew. Jamie then had to take the fight to the collectors after a few of his squad members had been lost in the battle with the collectors. He got a hold of Broad's ship that had been locked down once he'd been captured and made a beeline for the collector's mothership. Once they got on the ship, they were quickly apprehended and paralyzed, but before they went off to infiltrate the mothership, Jamie had his crew drink an antidote, which would make the effects of the sting wear off quickly. So they were able to escape the pods they were placed in and started to wreak havoc on the ship. Meanwhile, Messner, the guy who had loaned Jamie the Mako in the first place, was wreaking some havoc of his own. First by shooting Broad, the Krogan merc, in the head, and taking over his ship. Then took Treya, the Asari anthropologist whom had joined the crew, to seek the jamming signal as a hostage to help him with his own agenda. Messner was a Cerberus agent and was also working with the Collectors and was responsible for the jamming signal device that was placed on the outskirts as a diversion to let the Collectors attack the colony. Not only did that distort the signal, but the Alliance was not able to receive any information, therefore the Alliance was not able to send any help. So it was solely up to Jamie and his crew to defeat the Collectors. Messner used Treya to decipher some hidden code that the Collectors were using. After the Collectors leader and Messner got into a heated exchange, it was determined that Messner was no longer needed. While that was going on, Jamie was freeing all of the human colony that had been captured earlier and was looking for an exit strategy to get the people off of the mothership back safely on the Phil Prime. One of the Delta squad members found a ship that could hold everybody to get them off safely. Jamie had gone back to go get Treya, but upon looking for Treya, he had ran into Messner as well as the Collectors. The Collectors wanted to get rid of Messner and open up an exit pod to throw him out of. Instead, Messner threw Treya in it. Jamie went off in a rage and killed Messner. In doing so, Jamie also had to make a decision on whether he was going to save Treya or save the human colony. Treya was important at this point because she had information on the ties between the Collectors and the Reapers. Jamie did what he had to do and went to go save Treya and let the human colony crash defeating the Prime. After the tragedy, he had a debrief with the Alliance about the events that unfolded on the colony. The Alliance commended Jamie for his actions in making a solid decision on saving Treya instead of the human colony, as well as destroying the Reaper ship in the process. Jamie regretted the choice he made and took it very hard on himself. Although Jamie did receive an award for his actions, it still was bittersweet. Fast forward some time now, and he's under the command of Commander Shepard and a part of the official Normandy crew, and is a prominent member in helping defeat the Reaper threat. And this is the history of James Vega. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this, and I hope to see you next video.